Hello. This week in our D group reading schedule, we started the book of James, and we'll be going through that through the rest of the week. And so I wanted to just share some thoughts on James 1 today, and specifically starting in verse 19 and a few other verses going down to verse 25. But again, James is encouraging his readers both in the context of God's Word and hearing it, but also what they need to do with it. So again, verse 19 says, "My dear brothers and sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger." So he's encouraging us that we need to be ready to hear God's word, and quick to digest it, let it be internalized in what we do and what we think. But that's not the place to stop. He continues with verse 22. He says, "Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself." So it's not a matter of just hearing God's word, which is important, but we also need to be doing it as well. Continuing in verse 23, he says, "Because if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like someone looking at his own face in a mirror, for he looks at himself, goes away, and immediately forgets what kind of person he was." So he compares the person who hears God's word but does not do it, in other words, obey it, as someone who looks in the mirror and forgets what they look like. And again, we look in the mirror to see what needs to be fixed. Does our hair look okay? Or how do we have any food on our mouth or face or whatnot like that? And we the intent there is to fix the problem that we find. But if we don't, we walk away, we still have the problem. We still have the food on our face, or our hair is messed up, or whatever the case may be. Similar kind of thing, if we hear God's word, but we don't obey it, we don't do what it says, then we still have the problem of what God's word is helping us to fix. So James continues with verse 25. It says, "But the one who looks intently into the perfect law of freedom and perseveres in it, and is not a forgetful hearer, but a doer who works, this person will be blessed in what he does." And so again, just the encouragement to internalize God's word. He describes it as looking intently at God's word, but then also diligently doing God's word, and is a hard worker. And again, as he says here, this person will be blessed in what he does, which again is the blessing that comes with obeying God's word. So thank you. Appreciate you checking in with us this week. Don't forget, we have our church-wide Thanksgiving dinner coming up this Sunday. If you have not registered, go out to the website under the events tab, and you can register there. So have a good week. Thank you.